Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the top rated foundations that is mentioned on Nykaa. So I just applied this filter that is customer top rated, and these are all the foundations that appear when you search that. So I'm not going to be talking about all the foundations. I'm going to be talking about 15 of them. So let's talk about some of the top rated foundations right here. So the first one is, any guesses? I know you guys would know this is the top rated foundations. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte+Poreless foundation. So I can understand why this is the top rated, because it is also something that is available for a really long time and it is quite popular and a lot of people really talk about this. So if you watch most of the affordable recommendations and everything, it is there. So I feel like it suits people with oily skin, combination oily skin type, not so much people with dry skin. And my tip with this foundation is that it used to cling onto my skin a little bit weirdly and accentuate the texture on my skin that I didn't even know existed. But I am hoping, okay, because there's repackaging in this and everything, that there might be a reformulation that the brand has not informed us about. So I will be giving this foundation another go, maybe later sometime, in another shade. So right now I have the shade 310 Sun Beige, which is not a good undertone. It has a lot of peach undertones to it, so it clashes with the warmth of my skin. So I will be trying this out in maybe 312 if there is, or maybe a deeper shade, and checking out if I still like this foundation. But I have almost used this one up, even though like it's not my favorite foundation. It is almost like here. So I will empty this one up really soon and then we're good to go. So the Maybelline Fit Me has about 53,369 ratings and it has a 4.4 out of 5 stars, which is I think the highest. Next up, the other foundation that we can see on Nykaa, that is the next top rated foundation that they have, is the Lakme Absolute Skin Natural Mousse Material Foundation. I haven't really tried this one out, so I can't really talk about it because I haven't tried it out. And then the next foundation that I can see is the Maybelline New York Superstay foundation, which I have right here. I have this one in 2 shades. I used to have the shade 220, but I found it to be extremely light for my skin, so I went ahead and got the shade 312 Golden, which is warm. It is a little bit darker for my skin tone, but I don't really mind that, because this way at least I can make it work, maybe with a little bit of a lighter concealer underneath my eyes and around this part. But if it is very like different in terms of undertones, I can't get this one to work. So this foundation has 18,040 ratings and this has a 4.3 out of 5 stars. Contrary to a lot of people's opinion, I really like the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I find it to be a lot better looking on my skin. Like if I hydrate my skin really well, prep my skin really well, this looks a lot better. It doesn't really accentuate the texture, doesn't look like dry and flaky on my skin, and it's quite long wearing as well. And this again I think would suit people with normal and oily skin type. So this is a pretty good foundation in terms of coverage as well, so I really like that. So you can get it to a medium high coverage with this one. It's a really nice foundation, very blendable, very beautiful on the skin. Now the next foundation we have is the Lakme 9 to 5 Primer Plus Matte Perfect Cover Foundation. So this is the foundation with which they expanded their shade range. You can get a decent shade match for yourself as opposed to the usual 8 shades that they have in Lakme foundation. So this one again works for a lot of different skin types, depending on how you prep your skin as well. So this is perfect for people with combination and oily skin type. You can also make this work if you have normal skin. Like I have normal skin, occasionally dry like during the winter months, but I can make this work if I use a really good moisturizer, something like the Bioderma Autoderm cream, and maybe if I use a dry oil even before the primer, I can make this one work. It has a really nice soft matte finish, a long wearing foundation. I feel like it is quite long wearing, like the Primer Plus Matte claim I think stands true to this, and you get good medium coverage with this foundation. I have this one in the shade 300C Cool Cinnamon. C doesn't really stand for cool undertone. It is not as cool, it is quite warm, and I got this one in shade match at the counter, so I could see the different shades that they had, and only this one was the closest match to my skin. So yeah, this is a really good foundation, and compared to a lot of different Lakme foundations, particularly I really like this one. And then the next one that I can see is the K-Beauty All Day Makeup Combo, which is said to be the most top rated, which I doubt that. And so I'm moving on to the next product that they have. This is the Lakme 9 to 5 Primer Matte Powder Foundation. So I used to really like this. I don't really like this as a powder foundation because it is not that high in terms of coverage. It has comparatively lighter coverage compared to a lot of other products that is now available in the market, like the powder foundations that are available. But this is really nice and smooth on the skin. It doesn't really exaggerate anything. It doesn't really cling onto your skin weirdly. And even if you want to set your under eye concealer or just spot conceal and then want to set it with a powder, you can use this one. So I really like this for that. It's a very finely milled powder. It's very soft and it doesn't really add that much of a coverage. It is sort of like a light medium coverage. So if you want to use it on a daily basis, you can use this. Like if you were using a BB cream that is of a lighter coverage and you just wanted to use this one, you can use this powder foundation. So the next foundation that we have with 8091 ratings is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. So you get 30 ml of product and this is for 2,950 rupees. You can also find this in a travel size for a much lesser price, which is great because you can get your right shade match, or even if you have to mix two shades, you can get two products for the price of one, like almost the price of one, which I really appreciate. When I got this, there was no travel size of the MAC Studio Fix Fluid available. I really like this foundation because it gives you a very nice finish. If you prep your skin really well, it looks very nice on the skin. It's not too dewy but not too matte as well, and it just sits really well the first time. So the initial stages of my makeup purchases, I never really liked this MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation because I found it to be very drying on my skin. I found it to be very clingy. Like I realized that neither did I prep my skin really well, nor did the sales assistant prep my skin really well. So they just went ahead with the foundation, of course, which is not going to make the foundation look really nice. So once you prep your skin really well, this would look really good. And I think that this foundation would work for all skin types. Now, preferences are different, and like the way your skin reacts to a certain foundation would be different. I've heard that a lot of people do break out with this foundation, which I'm not very sure what makes that happen. So this foundation also contains an SPF in it, so I thought that, you know, it's just going to look really bad, but I did wear this on my wedding day and it photographed really nicely. So before talking about all of that, let me let you guys know about the shade that I have. So the shade that I have right now is NC42, which is, I'm not going to deny, a lot warmer for my skin tone. It is a little bit darker. Yeah, I have to go ahead and get myself shade matched again because this is a shade that I picked up because I like warmer tones in foundation. It's just a preference because I feel like that way it's not exaggerating anything, it's not looking ashy anywhere. But yeah, it is a lot warmer for my skin tone. And then the next top rated foundation that we have, oh god, my phone, it's like my phone gets locked every like second. And the next foundation that we have is a Nykaa SkinShield Anti-Pollution Matte Foundation. I haven't tried out this foundation at all. It is quite affordable, like on a discount you can get it for a much lesser price, but I've never tried it out. I never wanted to try it out as well, maybe because it has the word matte in it, and I'm not someone who really likes a lot of matte foundations or like thicker consistency in foundations, so I don't really use anything like that. And then after that we have the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation, which is again one of my favorite powder foundations. This adds beautiful coverage to your skin. This is dupeable. I have duped it in another video. I will link it right here, but it's a really nice powder foundation. You get a good shade match. It stays in place for a really long time. A lot of people found this one to be a lot more smoother and softer on the skin compared to the dupe that I suggested, but I wore it throughout the day and I found both of it just the same. And in fact, like the dupe is a lot more affordable as well, so it gives you the ease of repurchasing in case you were to run out of this a little bit faster if you're using this on a daily basis as well. But it is a really nice powder foundation. It adds good coverage, good medium coverage, stays in place for a really long time, doesn't transfer as much, and again, I can see a lot of people with normal to oily skin really enjoy this. If you have dry skin, I would suggest staying away from powder foundations in general, because I feel like it will just like suck out all of that moisture from your skin, make it look a little bit too dry, and why do you want to put your skin through that, even if you prep it really well? You know, might as well just use some nice dewy foundations or like some other liquid foundation in general. But this is a really good product and I understand the hype about it. But if I were to use it on a daily basis and I ran out of it, I would look for affordable alternatives, and that's exactly what I tried doing in that video as well. After that, I can see that the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation is here with about 6608 ratings. This is a foundation that is raved about by a lot of people around the world as well, and that's the reason I got it. I was like, okay, what is the hype all about? So it says perfectly matches skin color and texture, and it's a hydrating foundation which has hyaluronic acid in it and all of that. It's a really nice foundation if you were to look at my skin with these kind of lights, but you can't really come up close and see anything. But I find it to have a lot of shimmer particles. I'm not a fan of foundations with shimmer particles in general. Big, small, I don't want it to be there in my foundation. Highlighters, I don't mind it, but foundation is something that goes all over my face, and I feel like it just looks messy on your skin. In fact, it kind of starts to exaggerate the skin texture, look a little bit artificial if you were to look at my skin really up close and in natural lighting. I'm not sure if I can recommend this foundation to you guys, so it's your preference. If you don't mind shimmer particles in your foundation, you could of course try this one out. But yeah, I will try mixing it up with other foundations and see. It's not so finely milled, that's my problem. It's not so tiny that it wouldn't be visible at all. Like, I went out in natural light and just looked at my skin really close and I could see it. I didn't have to zoom in and check, but I just had to just check and I could see it. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But if you don't mind that, this would be a really good foundation for you to try out, especially if you have dry skin. But I feel like it just clings on to the texture on my face and eventually start to accentuate the texture a little bit weird. And usually I don't really find good shade matches in any L'Oreal foundation, but surprisingly I found a good shade match in this one. This is in the shade 6.5D, 6.5W. Okay, Golden Toffee, that's the shade. It is a pretty good match for me. Again, I always choose warmer foundations. So if you are taking my shade reference and are going to shade match yourself, keep in mind that I like warm tone foundations because I don't really like to go through the pain of trying to mask up the ashiness that will peek through on my forehead and around my mouth. So right now I have a foundation which is actually a pretty good match for me. I have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, but I have it in the shade Y405. The liquid foundation in Y405 is a little bit more warmer, but the stick foundation is a little bit more neutral. And so that's the reason, if at all it looks a little bit lighter for my skin, it is that very same reason. So undertones are very important for me, and I feel like I am more comfortable with warmer tones in foundations. Okay, after that we have the Nykaa SKINgenius Sculpting and Hydrating Foundation. I have this one in the shade Warm Sand. It's been a hot minute since I've tried this one out on my skin because I have so many other foundations that I really like, but this is a really good everyday foundation. If you want to wear it to work or to college and you want to substitute it with a BB cream, like you feel like BB creams are not your thing and you feel like you can't find a decent shade match for yourself, you can try this one out. I have got a lot of people hooked onto this initially, and I've made people with different skin tones try this one out as well. People with combination oily, dry skin, with slight pigmentation as well, and it looked really nice, like fresh. It's a really nice foundation if you want to try it out. Maybe I'll start using this one out again, and this is the only Nykaa base product that I really liked. I didn't really like the BB cream as much and the stick foundation that much, but this one was my favorite from all of that I tried out, and it's a really nice foundation. Of course, not a lot of people talk about this anymore, so just letting you guys know in case you wanted to try it out. Irrespective of your skin type, you can of course definitely try this one out. It is very light in terms of coverage, like light medium. You can build it up above light medium coverage, get it to a medium coverage as well, but the whole point of this is to make it look like your skin, so light medium should do. The next one we have is the Nykaa SKINgenius foundation stick. So this is again an older product which has 4,820 ratings. This is quite surprising to me that it is at this place even, but yeah, this would again work for people with combination oily and oily skin type in my opinion. Not a lot of stick foundations cater towards oily skin type, and I feel like this one would work. It gives you good medium coverage, but if you have normal skin or sort of dry skin, you have to prep your skin really well in order to make this one work. And compared to a lot of different products that we have in the market right now, you can easily skip on this. I have used this one quite a bit, like it doesn't look like that much, but I haven't used this in a long time. So yeah, I have a full-fledged review of this from my back in the day setup. So yeah, And then we have the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-hour matte cover foundation. I haven't tried it out. I have tried out the Pro Matte foundation. It's one of my favorite foundation. And then just that I don't really have the right shade match in that. And then we have the PAC HD liquid foundation, which has 4.4 out of 54663 rating. And this one again is a popular foundation for a reason. A lot of people really like this. Even I have used this for so many different occasions where I had to be photographed in artificial lights, and it looks really nice. If you can find a right shade match for yourself, it would look like your skin but better. It just gives you really good medium coverage, nice, you know, HD finish for sure. But for me, I've never been able to find the right shade match in this one. So right now I have the shade 2.5. I initially had the shade 2.3, which was too light. 2.5 is a little bit neutral. I think I have to try out the shade 3 or 3.1 for my perfect match, but because I have so many foundations right now, I don't think I will be doing that. But you know, a foundation just in general works a lot better for you if you have your right shade, like the right undertone, the right shade. It just looks like second skin, and you would tend to start loving that foundation a lot more. And most of the times I have to just mix and match my foundations because I don't really find the right shade. And then we have the Faces Canada Mini Weightless Matte Finish Foundation. Haven't tried it out. The Lakme 9 to 5 Weightless Mousse Foundation. I have tried this one out. I despise this foundation. It has a moussey texture and it does not work for my skin at all. I cannot see people with normal to dry skin ever using this. Maybe if you have extremely oily skin, I don't know, maybe it would work, but the finish, the coverage, the shade was not my favorite. And then we have the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, the original foundation. This is not the luminous matte foundation. I haven't tried that out. I don't think I will be trying it out because I don't see that from the reviews that there is a big difference, just that it is fragrance free. Maybe has a slight luminosity to the skin, but this one is a 35 ml foundation, which would take me a long time to get over this one itself. So I don't think I will be buying that. I have this one in the shade 340G Baklava. So this is something that I use more or so like a concealer more than a foundation, because this gives you really good coverage with very little product. It doesn't crease as much, doesn't cake as much. This is a product that I really liked when I initially got it. Of course, I am refraining from using this as much because if you use it continuously like a day and then the next day, your skin can break out. Okay, it does clog pores and everything. So the original foundation was not a lot of people's favorite, and hence the reformulation, but I, however, enjoyed the original one as well. I still do use it from time to time as a concealer, or like if I feel like any foundation is not giving me the coverage, I just take a tiny pump of this one, mix it in with that, and I'm good to go. So the next one we have is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. So I have this one in the shade 05 Warm Beige, but I need to go a shade up, 06. I got this one long time ago when this foundation was not even available in India, so I didn't get the right shade match. I like this foundation. It's really good coverage. You can use this even like on special occasions. It doesn't have any kind of flashback. It looks really nice on the skin if you prep your skin really well. Very long wearing and a really nice foundation in general. So again, I've seen a lot of people like with varying skin types really like it, but I have normal skin type and it works really well for me. They looks like they have changed the packaging of that. Okay, and so yeah, with that we complete all the foundations that I could cover, especially mentioned on Nykaa with the highest ratings. So let me know what you think about these products. Do you think it's real? Do you think it stands up to the claim? I try to pick out as many products that I could talk about. I do have a lot more foundations in my collection, but if I had to talk about all of that, we'd be here forever. Let me know what you guys think about these products in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.